Alright guys, we're back and we're gonna pick up right where we left off, dude. I gotta get this car still rolled out of the garage and get this freaking pigsty that we made all cleaned up because I didn't even get a chance to clean up after last episode. But yeah, I'm gonna do that right now so that we can make a mess again, you know what I'm saying? So let's get on it. Alright guys, now we got the car out of the garage. Excuse me for a quick moment while I get this place cleaned up a little bit. Okay, I'm not done cleaning the garage yet. But dude, with that thing sitting out there in the driveway, I've had 3 people stop already, pull up out front and say, "Yo bro, fuck yeah." And every single car that drives by is slowing, hitting their brakes in front of my house like neck breaking. I mean, I appreciate it, I do, but it's nerve-wracking. I don't know. You ever have something nice and like you're fearful, you know what I mean? Like I've already had my truck stolen out of my driveway. That house behind me just got robbed like 6 months ago. I watched the police chase down a guy, the house across the street. Some dude jumped their back fence and broke in. I don't know, it just makes me nervous, but yeah. It's one of those things, man. You make something look nice, it's gonna attract attention, and it's not always good attention, you know what I mean? But anyhow, I'm gonna get back to getting this garage clean so we can move on. Alright guys, I got this pigsty all picked up and I have pretty much everything I believe that we're gonna need all laid out here for what we're gonna use to install the diffuser on the bumper. What I have is obviously rivets. That's what we're gonna be attaching it with, or if you want to, you could use screws. I have the diffuser, obviously. Had to go pick up some blades for the jigsaw. That's what we're gonna be cutting it out with. And I got some green painter's tape, though I'll probably be using this roll of transfer tape that I have just because it's going to be more convenient for me. But if you guys don't have access to this, or if you guys don't have a roll of transfer tape just sitting in your garage, then masking tape, just painter's tape, will work fine. The rivet gun, obviously, for the rivets, and a drill. This is the size drill bit that I need for these rivets. This is a 30 bit. And I have a unibit for drilling the large hole, that I'll cover that here momentarily, and obviously a Sharpie for marking where we need to cut. And you obviously need your bumper, so you will have to remove the bumper from your car because you more than likely are going to have a bumper support behind it with the little foam piece and all that stuff. If you haven't already taken that stuff out of your car, you're going to have to do that. So, I mean, skipping that step, obviously, because I've already done that here, so I can't really demonstrate that for you. But you're going to want to remove the bumper from the car. So, let's get started. Alright, so I want my diffuser to sit on here with basically the same gap between... Well, this is going to be kind of hard. Hang on. Alright, so how I want to mount the rear diffuser on here is I basically want the same gap between here as there is right here, and I want the same gap that's going to be here, I want to be between the diffuser and the opening for the license plate. So what I have is a roll of painter's tape, and this is a 1/2 inch thick, and it's pretty close to the thickness of that little gap between the molding and the opening for the license plate. So what I'm going to do is lay a strip of this along the bumper, pretty much the full length here. Alright, now that I have that, I'm going to put 2 strips running as straight as I can following the vertical lines of the license plate opening. See, now with that laid out there, I can just simply set this on here, making sure to line up the straight edges with the edge of the tape. And I know that my gap here is going to be consistent with the left side of the bumper, and my gap here is going to be consistent. It's just all going to be at the correct gap that I'm looking for. So now what I'm going to do is take my my diffuser and the holes right here, the mounting holes, I'm going to run my 30-bit through, because this is the size hole that I need for my rivets. And I'm going to make sure that, it's kind of hard to do in front of the camera, I'm going to make sure that all these holes are the right size. Probably help if my bit was a little sharper. Alright, so now all these are drilled out and I know that my rivets are going to fit. Alright, now I covered this with the transfer tape. Now you can see why it is I'm using transfer tape instead of actually using the masking tape. Because basically what this is for is so that we can lay the, we're going to lay the diffuser on here and we're going to trace it out so we know where to cut. And this is also going to kind of protect the paint so that whenever I'm cutting, I'm not going to be scratching it with my jigsaw. If I didn't have the transfer tape, I'd have to run just layers and layers of tape all the way down, which is fine, just it's a little bit more work. So if you don't have access to transfer tape like I mentioned, you can just use a roll of painter's tape. I would definitely recommend painter's tape. Get something with that doesn't have a strong adhesive, because whenever you cut, and if you are to use a masking tape that has a stronger adhesive like something like this, whenever you cut, you could potentially lift the paint around the edges where you cut because you're weakening the paint there. So I would use something like a good Scotch brand or 3M or something, a painter's tape that has it's not as strong of an adhesive, so hopefully we're not going to have any paint peeling up after we cut. Alright, now I have the diffuser taped on here pretty much right where I want it. Now this is going to be up to you guys, and this is a really important part. You want to make sure that you have this either centered in your bumper correctly, positioned on there the way that you want it, because once you mark it and after you cut it, it's a done deal, man. There's no going back. Alright, now that I have it all traced out, I'm going to take the diffuser off. Now when you mark it, you want to make sure that you mark the inside of the circles, you want to mark the outside, and you want to make sure that you mark the holes, where the holes are going to be, because you don't want to cut the material away from where your holes are going to be for mounting, or there'll be nothing there to mount it to. Alright, now basically where you want to cut at, when you're cutting, you want to make sure you're not going to cut away where your holes are at. You don't want to cut anywhere outside of that line, and you want to stay on the inside of this line. Alright, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and drill the holes out first so I don't lose them. Okay, now obviously when we first put this up here and we tape it on here and I marked everything, whenever I mark the holes on the top and I mark the holes on the bottom, that's not taking a factor for, this is going to have to flex a little bit. So whenever we rivet these top ones down, we're going to have to push this kind of to take the shape of the bumper. So I'm not gonna drill these holes out right here just yet. I'm gonna wait until the end. I have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. Pretty much, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have those ones drilled so that after we're done cutting and everything, I can go ahead and rivet these 2, and then I'll rivet these 3, and then I can apply pressure down here and then drill my hole, put the rivet. Apply pressure, drill the hole, put the rivet. Because if you go ahead and drill these out right now, it might be slightly off and give you a little bit of a weird looking gap. So I'm gonna wait till the end to actually drill those holes. All right, this is where we're gonna use the Unibit. And I'm just gonna drill a big hole on both ends. I'm gonna go ahead and use some more masking tape just to make sure that I don't scratch that up with my jigsaw. You see, that's what the larger holes are for. I started here and I ended here. Alright guys, this is after the cut. Now you see I kind of did like a swooping motion, like over the cutouts, and then I kind of swooped down where the mounting hole is at, just slightly. And that's fine. This cut doesn't need to be all perfect and straight because you're going to be covering up with the diffuser, but you just want to make damn sure that you don't go outside of that outer line. There it is. Now I'm just going to set it up here and check it, line up the holes that I drilled. You want to make sure that none of the bumper, after you cut it, when you get it lined up, you want to make sure that you don't have any areas of the bumper like sticking over like this, okay? So you want to line it up to those holes that you drilled so that you know it's in the right spot. Just double check everything before you start riveting it down. Looks good, so I'm gonna start riveting. Dude, that's the finished product, man. I think that looks freaking amazing, dude. I fucking love it. I like the rivet silver too. Like, I know a lot of people will color match these, but I don't know. I've said this time and time again, I like exposed hardware, so I like to leave my rivets on there silver. Alright, so that's one side. Now we just have the other side to do. I'm gonna hurry up and get through that, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. Alright guys, there it is, all finished up, both sides, with the exposed rivets looking all sexy as fuck, and I scratched my bumper right there. I don't know if you guys are able to see in the hyperlapse video, but the saw jumped out and doof, but it's whatever. Believe me, this car is gonna get, I'm sure, quite a few little nicks and scratches and stuff, because it's not going to be a garage queen or trailered. It is going to be driven quite often. So, but luckily I'm the one that painted it. So if I ever have any damage, I'm able to fix it, repair it myself right here in the garage. But yeah, anyhow, there's the bumper, and I personally love it. I think it looks sweet, and I think it's gonna look really good with the car, especially with the theme that I'm going for here. The whole, you know, because race car. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably don't like it, but again, it's my car. At the end of the day, you gotta build your car to what it is you want, not what everybody else wants. So I think it looks cool. Like I said, because it's a race car, or because I'm a racer, you know, whatever it is you want to call it. But that's it. So anyhow, today's Tuesday. I gotta hurry up and get out of here because tacos are calling my name, man. 75-cent tacos on Tuesdays. Place down the street from my house. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the bumper, and let me know what you guys think about the car being on the ground finally, huh? Give me some ideas about the wheels too, because I don't want to leave them polished. Although it doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to. Either way, leave me some suggestions down below. I love hearing you guys' feedback, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna make the decision for myself, what I want to do, but you know, your opinions go a long way. I appreciate them. So yeah, like always, thanks for subscribing. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome, and stick around because there's a lot more videos to come. We're nowhere near done with this car, and whenever this car is done, we're gonna have another project after this one. Definitely something rear wheel drive. But anyhow, yeah, smash the like button, and peace out, guys. See you on the next one.